friends, welcome back to my channel. Here I am with yet another book review of Srimati Sudha Murthy ma'am, that is How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Other Stories. So I'm going to make a review of this book. Are you ready? Yes, of course you will be ready because I have clicked the button and I feel that this is important because the purpose of sharing this video is to share knowledge and experience. Okay, so what is special about Sudhamurthy ma'am is she always sets the ball rolling. The power of her language is the simplicity. It's not all sugar coated. Oh, reading all the stories, 24 stories, I mean not the stories, they are real life incident. I feel that Sudhamurthy ma'am has an excellent memory and understanding of human relationships and emotions. She has a deep understanding of relationships and the value of relationships and the struggles of everyday life. Okay. Sudhamurthy ma'am was born in 1950 in Shigaon, Haveri district of Karnataka. Her language is unpretentious because the straightforward nature of telling the story is very heart touching. The title of the story, don't you think that the tradition is twisted here? Because always grandparents teach grandchildren. That is a conventional one. But here, this title, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Other Stories, what made the young girl of 12 or 13 years old who stayed, none other than Sudhamurthy ma'am, who stayed during her childhood in grandma's house. And what happened, such incident that her grandma was illiterate, she never had been to, she never went to school, and but she had a burning desire to learn and know Kannada literature. She was a regular listener of Triveni's novel, that is Kashi Yatre, which was appearing in a serial way in a magazine called Karmavira. Sudhamurthy, a young girl of 12 or 13 years, used to read the novel, which was printed as episodic one, to her grandma every week, every I think Wednesday. But one Wednesday she went to wedding, so out of station to different village. But grandma was very much painful that she couldn't continue with the story that was appearing in the magazine. When Sudhamurthy came back to village, she actually helplessly confessed before the young girl that she was very unhappy and frustrated because she could not continue and catch up with the story. She could not read and write. She showcased her helplessness. But she had a very thirst for knowledge and hunger for learning. So she asked Sudhamurthy that, will you teach me, so that before reading this novel, she want to become an independent reader. Okay, so Sudhamurthy, as usual, taught her grandma the art of reading and writing. At the age of 62 years, her grandma put a deadline, a fixed deadline of Dasara celebration. Before Dasara celebration, she would learn Kannada literature and would read independently. So within a span of, she was very fast, and within a span of 3 months, she learned to read and write in Kannada. And that day, that Saraswati Puja, grandma did to Saraswati Puja celebration and touched the feet of that young girl and accepted that you are my affectionate teacher, and fulfilled all my desire to learn. Okay, in that book, so then Sudhamurthy ma'am actually gifted that book as a token of love to her grandma, to her first student, grandma. So that book, Kashi Yatre, actually the story is told in a nutshell. Please go through the story. Sudhamurthy ma'am also tells about the importance of library, at least one library for every village. Okay, so a teacher is always respected, not because he is rich, but because he has that knowledge that always grows. That's why Dronacharya has a warrior, a great warrior, Arjuna, as a student at his feet. So we also come to know about the Andrew Carnegie Library in USA, how his contribution helped, and what was the promise of Sudha Murthy ma'am to build library in each village. This also tells about Abdul Kalam, how she met Abdul Kalam and what was that IT divide and all, and how student life habits have a profound impact on future life by Hassan's attendance problem, and there is a rice granary story, and also how Narayan Murthy, who is Narayan Murthy and how he came up in life. A person whose father had 8 children at home and he could not afford to send Narayan Murthy to IIT, so then decided that any institution, no institution can make an individual great, but he himself can make himself great. So how he built a team of Infosys. So his story, and how Akshata Murthy also taught a lesson to Sudha Murthy ma'am. All such stories and how to solve the problems. So whenever a student asks Sudha Murthy ma'am about any solution to problem, she always tells convincing stories in the form of stories as an answer. This book also tells about how South Canara district in Karnataka is always leading in educational field, and many more things like about J.R.D. Tata, the inspiration which Sudha Murthy received from J.R.D. Tata and Jamshedji Tata. Okay, so in this way, lots of knowledge and wisdom you can gain by reading these books. Why storytelling is so important? Because it makes you emotional, and it relieves your heart. So the art of storytelling is actually by birth in the blood of Sudha Murthy ma'am. How to face the rainy days, the difficult situations in life, and her teacher Gaurama's letter, what the story when the problem arises before us, we have to grow in size bigger than the problem. Just like Hanuman grew himself to take the Sanjeevani mountain, the whole mountain he took because he grew in size, and that problem was very minimum, like Sanjeevani Parvata, that is Drona Parvata. Okay.